your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Only on GhanaTalks radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. When you see cause on air, where the spark inside the flame, from the first light to the last mile, stay with us a while. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Wake up, Ghana, your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Only on GhanaTalks radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks and start right. News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Only on GhanaTalks radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. When we see cause on air, we're the spark inside the flame. From the first light to the last mile. Stay with us a while. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show.
It's another brand new morning live on Ghana Talks Radio, and this is the Ghana Talks breakfast show. I believe you heard the beautiful song we composed for you. Yes, that is a very beautiful and insightful song, and as we always say it, we are bringing you nothing but the best, the latest and hottest, sumptuous and juiciest breakfast ever that has to do with politics and social issues. We have the interests of the people at heart. That is why Ghana Talks Radio, we are here. We are the voice for the voiceless. And also we speak on behalf of people, yes. So if you have any issues in your community, you can link us up on all social media handles at Ghana Talks Radio. Just give us a call on 020-254-4614, 020-254-4614. We would also answer that. And you can also send your concerns through our social media. We will get that covered up. I answer to the name Regina Bless, and very soon Miss Debbie Adoso will be joining us in the studio. But before we move straight to today's major news headlines, we need to take a look at some newspaper review, and I will take my time, give you the headlines and also explain a little bit of it to your understanding. Please do all to bring in your comments via our socials. We are streaming live on Ghana Talks Radio on our main website. We're also streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and also X. Let's proceed. On the front page of the Dispatch, it says, what Ghana taught the world in 90 minutes. The psychology of Ghana and England draw. Saturday will be playing. So Ghana and England match day. It would forever be on our lips. It's forever be on our lips till we meet them again. And when we meet them again, it wouldn't be a draw. Hopefully it would be 2-0, yes, 2-0. So Ghana 2, England 0. I just said the next World Cup, no, they don't pay us, but the fact said they'll pay us, they should get ready for us. Yeah, so on that same front page of the Dispatch, for NPP to win, unity in the party is not negotiable. Paul Afoko. It looks like Paul Afoko is really interested in NPP gaining power again, and I think that is a good thing for him to be ambitious. So he's saying that for the NPP to win again in 2028, they need to make sure that the unity they need to bond, it is there, because you say prior is very difficult. That should teach you how unity is very important in our community, in our society, in our organization, wherever you find yourself. Unity is very important. And looking at the New Patriotic Party, it seems like there are some internal issues going on in the party, so it's making the unity very difficult. I can't remember last year, or was it? Yeah, it was last year during June, July. Yeah, I think as of this time, no, it was last month, July. They organized an NPP dialogue delegation conference, whatever, and their main aim was to unite the people, and it looks like that unity is not really working. Yeah, so moving to the National Enquirer, Tokonu tramples ECOWAS courts unanimously upholds her removal, quashes her $10 million damages suit. Yes, Tokonu, her bid to be compensated has been quashed by the ECOWAS courts. Yabuegu Enfa. According to her, her removal was unfair to her. She's saying that we treated her unfairly and unjustly. So since she has taken the issue to court, Ghana courts, we thought this would prolong issues. But at the end of the day, it went in Ghana's favor. And I think we are excited about that, because why should, in fact, what audacity do you have to sue your own country? And I believe that this is a wake-up call to everyone in power. If a mandate is being handed over to you, make sure that you do it and do it well. Don't be biased, because a whole Chief Justice is not supposed to be biased. You are supposed to make sure that the final verdict you give to these people is fair and is just. That is it. And according to the Constitution, she was removed fairly. And if an investigation is going on, you can't be in the premises where investigation is going on, because you would obstruct investigation. So you need to be cleared off. And by clearing you off, you need to be suspended. You go sit at home for a period of time, and that period of time, you are still taking your allowance, you are still taking your salary. No one is taking that from you. So after the investigations, if you are at fault, that is where they would sack you. If you are not at fault, they would apologize, compensate you, and you will resume your office again. But here lies the case. Tokonu, after investigations, you are at fault. And mind you, according to searches, your friend is saying, is it the application or said the petition? The petition was filed during the past administration. It was presented to them, but they didn't act on it. They didn't act on it. And when this new party came into power, they acted on it. It was sent to Chief Justice, the acting Chief Justice. That was Chief Bafobon. He's now our Chief Justice. They set up a committee to investigate it, and they took it from there. So Tokonu, I am your junior Tokonu. Listen to me and let the case go. We beg you. So the front page of the Overseer, And it's also states here, ECOWAS court throws out Tokonu's challenge against Ghana. So Ghana is a free country. Ghana gained independence was 1990. Then I'm kicking 1957. What Kwame Nkrumah said, Ghana, our beloved country, is free forever. So Ghana, we are free forever. We are free from the claws and the clutches of Tokonu. The Supreme newspaper, NACOC arrests alleged kingpin in 320 kg meth shipment case. And on that same front page, we also have Honorable Ajaman Prempe and others undertake Westminster study tour to boost parliamentary excellence. This is what we are looking for when it comes to the parliamentarians. They need to broaden their scope of knowledge. You shouldn't be limited. You shouldn't always be bound in parliament. You need to be very intelligent. Your scope of knowledge should be broad. So there be a bizarre question, you will be able to debate it very well. But some people, I quite remember when this COVID levy came up where it was being cancelled, or said they were looking into it, and one minister said, she's a lady. I was very disappointed. She was like, hey, the COVID levy is still there. I was like, hey, it's still there, so saying. It was not even cancelled. They were looking into it. But she said, no, I went to buy something, the COVID levy was still there, blah, blah, blah. We need knowledgeable ministers in parliament. Now to the Ghanaian Times, the most important of it all for me. Nation records 15,290 new HIV infections. Experts call for action. 15,290 new HIV infections. This should tell you the number of people walking around with HIV infections. Gone are the days you would know, say, nipa your HIV. Because those times now in running any hot technology wasn't really there. So you won't say nipa na ye lengi. Nani tino say, coconut. You can see that this person has HIV. But in our time of today, you wouldn't know, because those people detect it early and they are on drugs. And these people are looking so healthy when it comes to their outward appearance. I saw a lady on TikTok. She was very slim, but once she got HIV, she started taking the drug. She was so chubby. You wouldn't know she's an HIV patient. So please, when you want to have sex, have protected sex. If you don't want to have protected sex and you want to go raw, according to you people, you can't eat toffee whilst the rubber is on it. You have to remove the rubber and eat the toffee. Take your partner to the hospital. Conduct an HIV test. If they are free from it, then you can enjoy your rawness. Other than that, protect yourself. That is why condom is there. Condom is there. Go and buy condom. Jo. Miss Debbie also. You are welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh.
I had challenges to getting a view.
I know, right? So, on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, they are saying that the nation record of HIV is 15,290.
That is huge.
Cases. So, little advice to the youth.
Little advice. Hi. I think my only advice is for you to be careful. If you know you're someone who cannot abstain from sex, you should get yourself protected. We have condoms available in the market, and we have some contraceptive pills as well. So, as I said, if you cannot abstain from sex, then you need to protect yourself, and that has to do with you putting on condom before having affair with anybody. If not, then you need to totally abstain, because you said something and I was like, yeah, that is true. Back then in the days, you could tell that this person is sick of HIV/AIDS. The symptoms are glaring in the face of the person. You can see it in the physical look of the person. But now, because of drugs and all that.
Yeah.
They look so built. They look, if the person is a lady, they look very beautiful.
Yeah.
You cannot even detect if this person is an HIV patient. And then when it has to do with the male side, you don't get to see, they look normal like any normal human being. And so with this kind of person, it is easily to transmit. I know those kind of people are kind of wicked. If the person has contracted HIV, yeah, they want to spread it. They don't want to die alone, and so they want other people coming along with them. And so you need to be very, very careful. And then one thing I also say is that try going to the hospital to test to know your status, whether you're an HIV patient or not. It's not only through sexual means, blade, sharp, using sharp objects. I mean, someone might say, why will I use other people's brush? But you have people who do that. You don't use
nasty.
Very, very nasty. You don't use someone, even your blood sibling. You don't use their brush, and even towel too. You don't use it. There are things you don't do, and so when it comes to sharp objects, you need to be very, very careful. So for me, my little advice is that if you've not tested for HIV, go and test, and then know your status. The earlier you test and then you know it, the better you sum up effort and then money for treatment. So I think for me, abstain. If you can't abstain, then protect yourself.
Exactly. If you can't abstain, then protect yourself. So briefly, so according to the Interior Minister, that is Muntaka Mubarak, he's saying that Sadina Tamaklo is in prison custody and not a private facility. This is coming from the Minister of Interior. Sadina Tamaklo is in prison custody. So how come we didn't hear anything? Wait, is it that this current administration are also slacking when it comes to communication?
Yeah, in a way, I'll say yes, because this is something that it's on the heart of every Ghanaian. I mean, one thing we are all looking up to is to fight corruption. Okay, so if someone in a way has been pointed out to engage in corruption-related cases to the extent that the person was being tried in absentia, then God willing, the person lands in this country, what do? The best thing we should do is to hand them over to the police, which they said they did. Because after she arrived in the country, there was I think a release by the spokesperson of the president, and then he said Sedina is she's being taken care of by the Ghana Police Service, and so let's say she's in the custody. But then what we want to know is, I think evidence. See, they said was seeing is believing. So we want to know that she's truly in serving her jail term, because it's common. Why will you say that when it has to do with public officials or government officials, there are things you don't expose, or there are things you don't
So
tell?
why did they expose that she has arrived in the country?
You get it. So with an ordinary Ghanaian, it's so easy when someone goes to steal, and then the process and everything is being followed, duly followed. Even if a normal citizen or an ordinary citizen goes to commit a crime or maybe kill someone, the process are being followed. When the person go to prison, just look, journalists, we follow the cases, we bring every detail. So the extent that even if the person is jailed, sometimes we go there to confirm for ourselves if truly that person is in there. But when it has to do with political officials, then you are trying to, hide the person. Why are you hiding the person? The fact that you are able to steal that money, the fact that you are able to take what does not belong to you, it means you have no iota of shame. You have no iota of you being hidden. So why should we hide you? You didn't even think of your profile. So the thing is, we are doing this because we want to promote transparency, and then they also want to reignite the trust the citizens have in this offices when it has to do with the court dealing with cases with corruption, when it has to do with public or government officials. So the only thing we are asking for is we want to see whether this woman is in cell or it's just something that was stated on paper. Because mind you, I don't have evidence to this, but it's common when a public official is being jailed, What if the person is being flown outside the country and then they are lying to us that she's serving her jail term? You get it? So what we want to know is that we want to be sure whether she is in the prison. We are not asking for anything big. We are not asking for anything much or anything huge. We just want to know whether she's in cell. Serving her jail term. That is all we are asking for.
Yeah, that is all we are asking for. So still stick and stay with us. She would be giving us more girl. Yes, when it comes to the best girl. And also, the little I can also say is once a public official is in the midst of corruption, they should no longer be seen as a public official and they should be treated as a criminal. Yes, so they need to go through all the processes to make it easier and safer for all. Moving straight to some few major news headlines. So this has been making waves since yesterday. ECOWAS court dismisses Tokonu's challenge against removal. So the Community Court of Justice of the Economic Community of West African States has dismissed an application filed by former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu challenging her removal from office as Chief Justice and Justice of Ghana's Supreme Court. The ruling delivered on Wednesday, June 24, that was yesterday, represents a significant setback for Justice Tokonu, who had turned to the regional court to contest the process that led to her removal from office. Details of the court's reasoning were not available at the time of publication. However, the decision effectively ends her bid before the ECOWAS court to challenge the legality of her removal. Justice Tokonu sought relief from the regional court after her removal from office, arguing that her rights had been violated during the process. So, former Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokonu Mabodi na itwase. Your case, it is no longer available in the ECOWAS courts, therefore giving relief to Ghanaians. I'm pretty sure that Deputy Attorney General Justice Remsai and also the main Attorney General Dominic Ayeni, I believe that yesterday they really jubilated because an issue or a very huge burden has been taken of them. Ms. Debbie?
With Tokonu's case, is although the attorney is standing in for the state, so it's like Tokonu versus the state or Tokonu versus the government. Now, for me, I saw this coming for a very long time, and I think the D-Day happened to be yesterday. Now, there is no way you fight against a whole state and then you win. It's not that common. It's kind of very, very difficult to fight against the state to win. Now, looking at Tokonu's case, that is not something that President Mahama just stood up and then felt like, oh no, we need to change the CJ because of what? Because of maybe, oh, I don't like her personality, so I want to change her. It's not done that way. Yeah. 3 people petitioned the president to remove Tokonu because of misconduct. That is why they petitioned the president. Now, after they petition the president cannot just wake up, as I said, because he has received a petition and so pack your things and leave the office. You need to follow the proceedings according to Article 146. And according to Article 146, if the president is being petitioned, the president will need to seek the consent of the Council of State members. And then the Council of State members will need to deliberate on the issue and then brings out a final result. After the final result is being brought out, whatever is being released as a final result, the president will then act on it and then suspend you. After you've been suspended, it doesn't mean that you've been taken away from the office. The president now goes ahead to establish a 5-member committee. Five-member committee. Then they'll sit on the matter, investigate the matter, deliberate on it, and then the final result is being brought up. So you could see that the president follows exactly what was stated in Article 146. And so it's not as if the president just woke up and then told Tokoni that leave office. No, you don't do that. A sitting CJ can only be removed if one, the CJ seems to be incompetent, the CJ seems to be a partisan CJ, because as a CJ you need to be non-partisan. You don't need to either be on the side of the NPP or the NDC, in as much as whether it is the NDC that appoints you or the NPP that appoints you, so long as you get in there, it is believed that the judiciary is supposed to be independent, and so there is no way it should be interfered by any political party. So as a CJ, if you don't know this and then you allow yourself to be controlled by these political forces, you will be sacked. And then when it happens like that, it is your profile and then your image that is being tarnished. When this issue happened, I saw cases where people were like, talk on who could have, they said go and rest. Simple. Why should you go and she was it petition the ECOWAS?
Yeah.
She went to petition.
And she even took you to some Ghanaian court
too. Why would you do that? And you see, people are like, you should have left Boko. You will still get incentives, because even if you are suspended, the government will still pay you. It has not been finally stated that you've been sacked.
Exactly.
So
she rushed.
Yeah, she rushed. And then because she had some people backing her, you know, there were some legal, and then I think former Attorney General Godfrey Dame was also in support of her when she went to petition ECOWAS against the state, which is not supposed to be so, because you cannot win. This one is simple as ABCO. You cannot win against a whole state, a whole government. No, now. It's not that common, unless maybe whoever appointed you is in power. Even with that, there is no way they are going to push you out because you are working in their favor.
Exactly.
So
because the petition, according to research, was presented to the former president.
Yes. So the former president was petitioned for so long, but he didn't act on it. So when President Mahama came in, the people re-petitioned the president again, and then they realized that no, there was already a petition to get this woman off. I don't remember when she was a CJ, there were a couple of instances where people were complaining that she's not being fair, she's being biased and all that. She goes ahead to appoint judges without the consent of the right authorities and like a whole lot. So this woman, I think people have been meaning her for so long. Yes, but they just need a change of government, because it looks as if the city president was the one who appointed her. So maybe just maybe the president feels like, no, I cannot just boot her out just like that. When it happens like that, then it means that my party is also being tarnished. It means I didn't take my time to appoint someone that is being fair. So why not just cover up that? Like, that is what I think.
That is what exactly it is.
So you see, so we talk on this case. I feel like she rushed the process, and now she's in the history of Ghana, in the Fourth Republic. That is a history, a laid down history, to be the first CJ to be sacked in the Fourth Republic. There was another CJ that was being sacked somewhere in the 90s. I think is it Akukosa? Something Kosa. Yes, in the 90s.
Yeah, Kosa.
In the 90s, something like Akukosa or something. In the 90s, I mean, he was being sacked as a CJ. So Tokonu will be the second CJ. And you see, the thing is, with the rank she has gotten to, I'm not sure she's due for retirement. But with this case, there is no way she can go back to work, because you cannot come back to work as a CJ. And looking at your rank, you cannot also degrade yourself to work as a common lawyer. So it's better she just back off or give up the dream of she working in the law court, because a CJ has to be a top position you've really worked for.
So with the Chief Justice Kobina Akukosa. Yeah, so he was sacked in 1963 by President Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah. He
was the first CJ to be sacked, and so the second CJ to make history to be sacked in the Fourth Republic is also Tokonu. It's sad, because see, to get to that rank as a CJ, it's not an easy task. It's not.
Unless she sets up her own chief
Even
justice firm.
with that, it will be difficult.
Yeah.
Because the trust people have in you has already been eroded.
Exactly.
So for people to come to your court for you to deal with issues like that, it will be difficult because there's already a perception that you are not fair. There's already a perception that you are incompetent. And so bringing my case to you is just like me wasting my money.
Yeah.
So it's going to be difficult. So I think she will just have to give up on her career, and that is going to be so much painful. Because mind you, I am very, very sure we have people that are looking up to her, people that saw her to be her mentor. And this happening, that is huge. Your image being tarnished, the years you spent in school to get yourself. You see, this is one thing that comes in mind. Politicians do not give things for free.
Exactly.
You need to be careful. You need to protect your integrity. You need to protect your name. So this is Tokonu. Imagine someone comes up one day, the person is called Tokonu. Because of this record, it didn't Tokonu. No, it has already been tarnished. So if someone comes to a firm, and then one day we have someone called Tokonu, and the person wants to occupy a big position or office in Ghana here, that is going to be even if the person is good, because of the perception we have with the previous Tokonu. So we know that as for this Tokonu, he or she will walk in the shoes of the former Tokonu. So please protect your name, protect your integrity.
What you are saying, an example just dropped you. It's just like a guy who's probably everyone say, "I could date your baby friend in Regina." I am money broken.
Yes, you get it. Well, what you are saying is true, because sometimes you meet people and then you mention say, "Hey, Eddie Way."
Exactly. Red flag.
You see, but it doesn't mean that if you met someone called Regina or maybe Deborah and the person gave you a broken heart, doesn't mean that all Regina are the same. Yes.
But there is society we find ourselves.
You get it. It's kind of weird.
Okay,
very,
so
very weird.
Briefly before we move to the next one, you made mention of the perception probably the former presidents might be having.
Yeah.
Now my question is, as a leader, no matter what, whether it goes against your belief or not, whether it would make you feel bad, look bad in the sight of people, when these people petitioned former presidents, I feel like he was supposed to go forward with the petition, make sure that he gives it to the right people to investigate it. But since he didn't do that, it looks like he was condoning and encouraging those bad characters. And as a leader is not supposed to do that. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
I actually got what you're saying. You see, it's true, and I will personally say that was the main reason why they were booted out of power. All these things count. You know, sometimes we do not pay attention to things. You see, sometimes there is this kind of petty things that you do not see as where they are then. But these are things that can actually prevent you from, shall I say, meeting the right people or even missing opportunities. So to President Akufo-Addo and Tokonu, you are being petitioned as a president. So long as you are being petitioned, whether the person you love the person or not, whether the person is at the right side of your heart or the left side of your heart, so long as you are being petitioned, you are termed as the father of the nation. So you need to pay heed to those people as well. The law needs to take its course. You are not supposed to work for the law or for the court. That is not your job. Your job is to appoint these people. You see, this is the main reason why people are calling for I need a perfect word to use. People are calling for, I don't want to use the reduction because it wouldn't tell me to decrease the power of the executive. Thank you. To limit the power of the executive. Because the executive have power over the rest of the arms of government. So executive appoint a CJ, which is not supposed to be so. A CJ, you don't need to be biased. So if executive is appointing a CJ, don't forget that the judiciary is also part of the arms of government. So if a CJ is appointing an executive is appointing a CJ, it should tell you that there is no way the CJ is going to be fair.
It's just like me appointing you to do something in an organization.
You get
and
it.
I need a favor. You will do
I will
it
do
because
it.
I appointed
I will do
you.
it. There is no
Yeah.
way I can turn a blind eye
I'll
to
sack you.
Exactly. So I just have to condone whether what you are doing is right, whether it's going to be in favor of the office, it's going to be in favor of the developments of the company or not. I just have to say yes and do it.
Yeah.
And so you see, that is why the executive, there should be a limit. Something like CJ, like Attorney General, Office of the Special Prosecutor. All these people are sensitive people. The office they occupy are sensitive offices that should not be intruded or interfered by any of these other arms of government. You need to be on your own. You see, it has become worse that even Parliament sometimes dictate for the judiciary, which is not supposed to be so. Parliament sometimes intrude in the affairs of the judiciary. It is not supposed to be so. So when we don't limit it, executives appoint a CJ, executive appoint an attorney general. How do you expect us to fight things like corruption, things like things like sensitive cases? We cannot fight it. Because if I appoint you, and then my member is engaged in galamsey, or my member is engaged in corruption, I was the same person who appoints you. And so the directive I give you are supposed to follow. And that is why in many occasions we hear that, order from above. Why is this case not being solved? Order from above. Why didn't you take this action? Order from above. Order from above. That is why we are struggling. So we need to limit it. You see, that was the biggest mistake the former administration did, and on the side of the president. Maybe, just maybe, he took an action and we didn't know.
He didn't take an action. If he had taken an action, we would have known. Or because during the administration, they were not really communicating with the media.
No. The communication was poor. Was very, 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 very poor. Very, very poor. So yeah, okay, as you said, maybe they did it and they didn't communicate. But even if they did it, it should be known.
Yeah,
it should be known.
All right. So the first segment that has to do with our news headlines has come to an end. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl. Yes, we are expecting all the heat and the girls from here. We would be back shortly.
Welcome to Debbie's Grow, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear of favor. Member of Parliament for Manchester South, Nana J. Bafo Awa, has said the Interior Minister's explanation regarding the whereabouts of former Maslok Chief Executive Officer Sedina Tamaklo Ationu has failed to settle public concerns, arguing that it instead raises further questions about transparency and accountability. His comment comes amid ongoing public debate over whether Sedina Tamaklo is currently serving her sentence in prison custody following assurances from Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak that she is under the control of Ghana Prison Service while failing to disclose the facility under which she is serving her sentence. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Bafuawa said the minister's clarification, rather than bringing closure to the issue, has deepened uncertainty about the exact location and custodial status of the convicted former Maslok boss. When you listen to him, what is clear is that he sought to put finality to the controversy, but he has created more controversy. The former lawmaker questioned why government has declined to disclose the specific prison facility where Sedina Tamaklo is being held, arguing that such information should ordinarily be part of official records confirming a person's incarceration. He insisted that the absence of publicly accessible documentation verifying a transfer into prison custody undermined confidence in the government's position. According to him, the process of incarceration follows established legal procedures, including the issuance of a warrant and the formal transfer of the convicted person from police custody to the Ghana Prison Service, which should be properly documented. Mr. Bafo Awa further argued that concerns over transparency
cannot be dismissed simply on the grounds of security consideration, especially when public accountability is at stake. He also questioned whether Parliament had done enough to exercise its oversight role on the issue, suggesting that a formal inquiry could have compelled the Interior Minister to provide more detailed information. So, the Interior Minister yesterday explained that the former Maslok boss, Sedina Tamaklo, is, shall I say, is being controlled, or she's being under the guidance. Yes, let me put it that way. She's under the guidance of the Ghana Prison Service, and so he came out to clear the air. Previously, there was an info that said Nata Maklo is in Ghana, and then from there they said she was being picked by the immigration to check whether everything is okay, whether she's not sick, whether she's not pregnant, whether she's fine, before she will be sentenced to serve her jail term. Then after that, the spokesperson of the president also came out, and then he said Sedina Tamaklo is she's under the guidance of the Ghana Prison Service. So in a way, she's in custody. And yesterday, the Interior Minister also made the same claim that was being stated by the spokesperson for the president. And Dr. Awa is saying that if you are doing that, then it means you are not being fair to transparency and accountability. This is someone that has been sentenced, and then she left the country for a very, very, very long time, and she was tried in absentia. When we heard she arrived in Ghana here, I think it was a joy. Okay, everyone was excited because that is what we want. The issue being that we are all eager to fight corruption. See, it's not as if we are happy when we see it and then we are bashing people, we are hitting the back of people. No, we are not. It's not like we are not that excited to do that, but we need to do that because we need to fight corruption. It's a necessity to fight corruption. It is mandatory to fight corruption. So if the person arrived in the country and then per your claims, she's in custody, and you've not specified, we have a lot of prisons, and we have the Insawam, we have other prison cells. Which of this facility is she serving her jail term? As simple as ABC. That is all we are asking for. And there is an instances where the Interior Minister also made mention that when it has to do with high profile cases or government officials, things like this does not need to be disclosed. The facility where the person is being when the person is serving her jail term is not supposed to be disclosed. And I asked myself, why is it difficult to disclose where a government official that has served the country and in a way has been pointed to been involved or engaged in corruption and corruption related activities? It's been difficult. Like, we find it very difficult to tell the facility where she's serving her jail term, but it's not difficult to tell where a commoner, the ordinary citizen, is serving his or her jail term when he goes to steal, or when he goes to commit suicide, or when he goes to commit a very heinous crime. That we are easy to tell where the person is serving her jail term. And I think what is good for the goose is equally good for the gangster. There shouldn't be there shouldn't be we shouldn't be biased. Let me put it that way. Because so long as someone is being engaged in a particular activity that is against the rule of the land, whatever sanction or whatever penalty the person is supposed to be faced, the person needs to face it without shielding the person. That is how it's supposed to do. The law shouldn't favor a group of people and then go against the other group of people. The law needs to take its course. If the law is stating that somebody is being caught doing this, that is what should be done to the person. Whether the person is a sitting president, whether the person is a member of parliament, whether the person is an appointee, whether the person is an ordinary Ghanaian, whether the person is a floor member. So long as you are being caught in that activity, and then the penalty to that activity is that maybe you should be jailed for 10 years, or maybe you should be jailed for 5 years, or you should be slaughtered. That is what should be done to you, regardless of the position you hold. So long as you didn't pay attention to that position, and then you went ahead to engage in such a crime, then the law needs to take its course. And when the right thing is being done, it promotes transparency. And then it pushes the confidence we have in our system, the trust we have in our system. But when the right thing is not being done, it makes it so difficult for us to believe in our own system. See, imagine we do the right thing. Imagine the law favors no one, regardless of who you are. If you are being caught in a crime and the law deals with you just like the way it's supposed to. Like we did said the Natama Close incident, I'm not sure we'll even be talking. And the spokesperson should say that, well, Sedina is back in the country and she's serving her jail term, knowing fully well that the system is working. They're not going to speak. We are not going to even waste our time because we know that she's serving her jail term. But in a case where the law favors a group of people and then leave others behind, you have to talk, you have to complain and all that. It's kind of difficult for you to tell us that she's serving her jail term and then you expect us to believe. No, it doesn't work like that. And as I said in my earlier submission, seeing is believing. We need to see, we need to confirm that she's truly serving a jail term. What if she's not serving? What if she's being flown to other country and then we are being deceived or kept in the darkness that she's serving a jail term? And this is the main reason why sometimes you hear people say that, oh, forget it. Oh, forget it. They're not going to arrest anybody. Oh, forget it. That woman, she has been flown to some country and they are deceiving us. Oh, politicians are like that. Oh, have you ever seen a law jailing a politician before? You see, so it should tell you that we still believe in the perception that no public official can be jailed. No public official can be made like forced to face the law, rigorously facing the law without being shielded. Because this is something that has been happening. So with the interior, for us on that, I don't agree with the interior minister stating that when it has to do with government officials or high profile people, there are certain things that you don't expose. But what are the things that shouldn't be exposed? This is someone that has been, the evidence is glaring in our eyes that she did it. It's not as if we are condoning something, putting things together, and then telling lies to make it look as if she did what she didn't do. This is a fact. The evidence is glaring right in our faces. And we've been wanting this woman in this country for so long. Now that she's in, we're happy. Where is she? That is the question. Everyone is asking, where is she? You said, yeah, she's under the care of the Ghana Police Service. She's in custody. In which facility? No, if the media wants to see her, you give them the go ahead to see it. And then when you do that, it promotes trust. The trust we have in the system will be reignited. But when we don't do that, it makes everything bizarre. We don't trust in our system, did that. So please, the right thing should be done. What we are asking for is not much. We want to know where Sedina Tamaklo is. Specific, the kind of facility she is in. And then when we definitely read there, we will come around to confirm. Allow us to do our work. Because we are working together. And that is how we promote accountability and transparency. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie. Miss Debbie doesn't want to stop so that you can read the news. Anyway, if you want to enjoy more of this, join us in the second segment. Up next, we have the morning news.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi keshito.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bliss.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up this morning, school feeding expansion hit 12,000 schools with 4 million beneficiaries. Otunfo charged Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology to promote entrepreneurship and strengthen digital system. Minority demands release of probe report on rapid prepaid electricity credit depletion. Also coming up in the news, Ministry of Interior urges accountability and coordination in use of security services. The Interior Minister also announced that 4,038 firearms were surrounded as government moves to regulate gun use at funerals and other festivities. On the business front, ADB records strong turnaround with 367 million Ghana cedis profit in 2025. We've got full details on these stories and many others coming up shortly. The school feeding program under the Ministry for Gender, Children and Social Protection has expanded to serve an estimated 4 million students in 12,000 public basic schools. During a media engagement, the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection stated the expansion demonstrates government dedication to better nutrition, higher enrollment and reduce financial strain on parents. She added that the ministry is working with caterers and district assemblies to ensure meals meet the set standards.
The Ghana School Feeding Program currently provides one hot nutritious meal each school day to approximately 4,231,059 pupils in 12,045 public schools across the country, covering learners from kindergarten to primary 6. Mr. Speaker, government recognizes the important role of the Ghana School Feeding Program in improving child nutrition, increasing school enrollment and retention, reducing absenteeism, and supporting local food production. Consequently, there is a long-term policy commitment to progressively strengthen and expand the program within available resources. However, Mr. Speaker, under the 2026 appropriation, the program did not receive financial clearance for further expansion to cover additional schools at this time.
The Chancellor of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Anna Santino Otunfo said to the second, has called on the university to intensify investment in infrastructure while positioning itself as a leader in digital transformation, research and innovation. Addressing the university community during a recent engagement, Otunfo urged KNUST to expand and modernize its physical facilities to meet growing student numbers and evolving academic demands. He also charged management to embrace digital transformation across teaching, learning and administration. The Santiago further emphasized the need to strengthen research capacity and make research output more relevant to industry and national development.
We must continue to invest in infrastructure, embrace digital transformation, strengthen research capacity, and foster a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. We must also remain committed to nurturing not only brilliant minds, but also responsible citizens with integrity, character, and purpose.
Sure.
To our students, you are the future of this institution and of our nation. Take full advantage of the opportunities before you. Strive for excellence.
The Minority Caucus in Parliament is demanding the immediate release of findings from investigations into widespread complaint of rapid depletion of prepaid electricity credit. Addressing the media, Deputy Ranking Member of Parliament Energy Committee, Collins Adumaku-Mensah, said 4 months after the investigation, the outcome has still not been made public. According to him, the Ministry of Energy had earlier set a 10-day deadline for the investigation to be concluded and a report issued. The deadline, he noted, has long passed without any update to consumers. He further urged the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission to shift focus from quarterly tariff reviews to addressing pressing consumer concerns.
A few months ago, consumers were complaining about the fast depletion of credits on their meters. The minister assured us that he set up a committee and that he's giving them 10 days to bring the report. It's been 4 months. We've not seen the report. Whose fault was it? Was it the utility players that manipulated the meters to erode credits from people's meters? If that is the case, what was PRC's action? Have they surcharged them? Have they charged them for that? Where is the report? There are fundamental things that PRC must focus their attention on. But it seems they are always on the side of the government and the utility players. But they are there to regulate them to the benefit of the consumer. But all we see is that anytime they make any announcement, it is to the detriment of the consumer. So we cannot keep on piling up. ECG has a responsibility to collect the money that they sell or the electricity that they sell. If for years ECG continuously is making commercial loss of 32%, 20%, 25%, consumers cannot be paying for their inefficiencies. They have to put things in order to change the operations of ECG. We can't continue like this.
The Minister for Interior, Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, has cautioned regional ministers against the arbitrary use of state security agencies. Speaking at a meeting with regional heads, the minister stressed that all security operations must be guided strictly by the law and lay down procedures. He urged regional ministers to ensure closer coordination with the Ghana Police Service, Armed Forces, and other security bodies to maintain peace and promote accountability in their regions. The minister's cautioning comes amid growing public concern over the deployment of security personnel for political and non-security purposes.
It is not an easy thing, but that is why we are entreating all of you to be very mindful and know that you will have to be careful about arbitrariness. You cannot just be arbitrary with your actions. Unlawful operations or partisan use of the security institutions have no place within this program. Many times, people will call you, oh, we are in power, but it looks like we are not in control. They want you to be using the security apparatus anyhow. This guy, the one in the opposition, he last slapped the constituency chairman. This is the time to show you where power lies. And that's not your role. Because if you do use your powers arbitrarily, you will also be contributing to stabilizing your own region. So, trust is the foundation of sustainable security. When communities trust you, when chiefs, you, faith leaders, and the media engage with you, they become your strongest allies in intelligence and prevention. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to highlight government's ongoing effort. We are modernizing and retooling our security services, strengthening recruitment and training, enhancing border protection, and deepening collaboration with neighboring countries. We continue to invest in community policing, recognizing that enduring peace is rooted in public trust. The Act 1168 serves as a cornerstone of a more responsive, integrated, and effective national security system. Since assuming office, we have deliberately extended security engagement beyond Accra, and many of you will attest to the fact that President in your regions, working closely with traditional authorities.
The Interior Minister also disclosed that 4,038 firearms have been surrendered nationwide as government prepares new regulations to control gun use at funerals and festivals.
Traditional authorities, religious and opinion leaders, civil society organizations, the media, and community groups. Your advocacy and engagement were instrumental in bringing this initiative into homes and communities across our country. Engagement with stakeholders. Government will continue its engagement with traditional authorities on the sensitive issue of firearms use during customary settings. Our objective is clear: to ensure that cultural practices are preserved while adhering strictly to safety and legal standards. This will include improved marking, tracing, and training for authorized ceremonial firearm users. We also call on licensed arms dealers to uphold the highest standards of professionalism and strict compliance with the law. Let it be known that any abuse of the licensing regime will attract decisive sanction. Ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion of the gun amnesty program marked not an end, but a transition from voluntary compliance to full and robust enforcement of the law. The amnesty was a temporary window of grace. That window is now closed. Registration processes are ongoing for individuals who declared firearms during the program. Support subjects to background checks, because you surrendered it, you are not arrested. Yes, some wanted to still have it, but we need to subject that to our own procedures. So we'll do the background check. You have to be trained to be sure that you are competent to handle the guns and strict qualification criteria. So registration will not be automatic.
In business, the Agricultural Development Bank has recorded a significant turnaround in its financial performance in 2025, posting a profit after tax of 367.29 million compared to a marginal profit of 35.6 million in 2024. According to the bank's 2025 annual report and financial statement, the improved performance was driven by enhanced operational efficiency, stronger revenue generation, and the positive impact of the bank's recapitalization program. The bank said the strong earning position enabled it to transfer 183.65 million Ghana cedis to its statutory reserve from retained earnings during the year, with a cumulative balance on the statutory reserve fund rising to 383.90 million at the end of 2025, up from 199.56 million Ghana cedis in 2024. ADB's total assets also grew significantly to approximately 17.9 billion in 2025 from 14.6 billion in the previous year. The growth was largely attributed to increased investment securities and improved liquidity. Total operating income rose to about 1.75 billion from 1.0 billion in 2024, supported by high interest income of 2.9 billion and growth in fee and commission income, which reached approximately 284 million Ghana cedis. The bank's capital position also improved markedly following the government of Ghana's deposit for share initiative. its capital adequacy ratio strengthened to 27.17% from a negative 3.15% in 2024. Shareholders' equity increased to approximately 2.48 billion, reflecting what the bank described as restored solvency and enhanced financial resilience. Despite the strong recovery, management acknowledged that asset quality remains a key area of focus. The bank's non-performing loan ratio improved to 17.5% in 2025 from 75% in 2024 as recovery efforts intensified. The bank's earning per share improved to 0.22 Ghana pesos in 2025 from 0.02 Ghana pesos in 2024. Return on equity rose sharply to 15% from 3%, while return on assets increased to 2% from virtually zero a year earlier. ADB maintained its workforce at 1,473 employees and operated through 89 branches and agencies across the country. The board directors, however, did not recommend the payment of a dividend for the 2025 financial year. The report noted that the 2025 financial year marked pivotal step in ADB's recovery journey, positioning the bank for sustained growth and long-term value creation. To sports, Portuguese tactician was visibly frustrated following several controversial decisions at Boston Stadium, where Ghana held the Three Lions to a hard-fought draw to secure qualification for the round of 32. Speaking during his post-match press conference, he was questioned why VAR failed to intervene in what it believed were two major incidents involving striker Prince Edu. The first flashpoint arrived in the 66th minute when England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford collided heavily with Ghana forward Prince Edu as the striker attempted to break through on the goal. Rather than awarding Ghana a free kick in a dangerous position, the referee ruled in England's favour, a decision that immediately sparked protests from the Black Stars bench. Kiros argued that Pickford should have been sent off for denying clear goal-scoring opportunity. Ghana's frustration deepened 12 minutes later when Edu again found space behind England's defence before being challenged by defender Ezri Kosa. The referee waived play on despite strong appeals from Ghanaian players for a penalty. Television replays appear to show Kosa making contact with the attacker while failing to win the ball cleanly, with several pundits later questioning the decision not to award a sport kick. Despite his anger at the officiating, Kiros admitted there was still plenty for Ghana to celebrate. The point against the world's fourth-ranked side was enough to guarantee the Black Stars a 75% chance into the knockout rounds following their opening victory over Panama ahead of Croatia clash. While Kiros left Boston pleased with the result, his final message was clear. In his view, the Black Stars should have been leaving with all 3 points, and judging by his colourful assessment of the officials, he believes VAR was nowhere to be found when Ghana needed it the most. In showbiz, gospel musician Grace Ashley has commended Mediama Sporting Club owner Moses Ama for sponsoring her latest cheer song for the Black Stars. The singer, who has on several occasions complained about the lack of support from football authorities for her musical campaign in support of the senior national football team, made the revelation in an interview. Grace Ashley, who has been composing and performing cheer songs for the Black Stars since 2006, remains one of the country's most vocal celebrity supporters of the national team. This year, other artists including Kofi Kinata, Keche, Donzi, Wendy Shea, Ebo, and Prophet Joseph Atara, as well as Tomboy, also released cheer songs for Black Stars. Meanwhile, Grace Ashley is hopeful the Black Stars will progress beyond the group stage and achieve greater success at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. On global update, US AIDS has cautioned that a reduction in US funding for HIV/AIDS programs could have deadly consequences for South Africa, the country with the world's largest number of HIV patients. In a statement issued, UN agencies said American support through the PEPFAR has been critical in sustaining treatment, testing and prevention services for millions of South Africans. A cut in that funding, UNAIDS warned, will disrupt supply chains for antiretroviral drugs and weaken community health outreach. Officials say South Africa relies heavily on donor support to complement government efforts in the fight against HIV/AIDS. Without continued U.S. assistance, gains made over the last 2 decades risk being reversed, potentially leading to more infections and death. The South African government has not yet commented on the cautioning, but health advocates are urging both Pretoria and Washington to find alternative financing to protect vulnerable communities. The development comes amid broader debate over foreign aid cuts and their impact on health systems across Africa. And that's it on the morning news update. Thank you so much for sticking tuned to your radio. Do well to log onto all streaming platforms at Ghana Talks Radio. For more news stories, I am Deborah Adolso. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Ghana Talks Radio, wo UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha the sound system which is spinning machine papa every amana ne aba begu o Ghana mu ha. It is a we a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way sorry are more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boss sound in the moon at the dia any may come for GTR sounds at the amount. Your live band and so I will turn sa at the frame ya beat me abababua. Ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Yawa enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel ahope pepe ena yebutu odi ane se wo be frɛ mpanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu ode angaza.
Occasion demands the company of good music that fits the purpose. At GTR Sounds, we understand your need to create just the right atmosphere for your wedding or engagement, party, funeral, crusade, political campaign or rally, or just any other event, as well as executive and corporate functions. With our modern and high-quality spinning machines, mixers, microphones, and power amplifiers, binary speakers, and subs, we offer the highest of sound quality and music play at events and functions. At GTR Sounds, we have a team of seasoned and highly experienced sound engineers who understand just the right choice of music for your events. Locate our studios at Aponchi Hotel in Anya or call our numbers 054-8522-897 or 027-3363-973. You can also reach via our email sounds@GhanaTalksRadio.com. At GTR Sounds, we take care of your event.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Wake up, Ghana. Your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Only on Ghana Talks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way. Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. When you see cause on air, where the spark inside the flame, from the first light to the last mile, stay with us a while. Your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration,
Ghana Talks
and
Breakfast
great
Show, your morning
conversations.
companion.
From Accra to the world, we bring the
morning once again, and welcome to the second segment of the breakfast show on Ghana Talks Radio. On this segment, we dissect, bisect, and all the sects into topical issues, not just any topical issues, issues of national concern. That is what we deal with here. And I don't do this alone. We bring in here panelists who are knowledgeable, who are so intelligent, and they are not here to talk, but they are here to educate, inform us, and also share their perspective on topical issues that are making waves on the media day in, day out. And so this morning we are fortunate enough to have our panelists joining us. We will be having a representative from the side of the New Patriotic Party, as well as the National Democratic Congress. And this morning in here we have Mr. Kelvin Abraham Wayo Tete, Communication Director of the National Democratic Congress. And I think along the line we'll have the MPP representative in person of Benjamin Otre Bexon also joining us. But before he comes in, I'll go to my my first panelist, Mr. Kelvin. Mr. Kelvin, good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, by God's grace.
Great.
Yeah.
I can see. It looks as if this morning you are. Shall I say you are blinking? I like the
really?
the sleeve. Yeah.
I'm looking good, right?
Yeah, you are.
Thank you so much for admiring me.
Okay, we are grateful to equally have you on the show this morning. Yeah, there have been a lot of topical issues of it making wave, but then we'll focus on two, and one has to do with that of former CJ Tokonu and suing the state at ECOWAS. Now we've seen the whole brouhaha about the former CJ and the state, where the president was being petitioned. 3 people actually petitioned the president to take her off, and I think the president did not just wake up in a day to dismiss her. They followed due process, and that has to do with in regards with Article 146. And aside that, she said she will not agree. Why should I be suspended? And so she went ahead to ECOWAS. But recently, just yesterday, there was also a news. She was actually trying to sue the state, so the state will compensate her with an amount of money. But ECOWAS is saying that, look, we've went through your case so well, but we are sorry. What you're asking for, I mean, we can't grant it to you. So, Mr. Abraham, how do you see this? Should we call this good news, or we should say indeed she has been cheated, or maybe it is the law taking its course?
Thank you, my dear. I think before I go on with any further statement, let me say good morning to my boss, Willie. Willie is Deputy Regional Communication Officer of the NDC. He is performing very well as an officer for the party. So this morning, let me extend my warm greetings to him. Then also my regards to my boss, Honorable Akugan. Akugan also is my boss. He is the Deputy National Communication Officer. This morning, boss, my best regards to you. Then from there, I also have to say a good morning to my big brother and friend. He works at the BOST, Bulk Oil and Transport Company.
Okay.
Yes, he's called Solomon. Solomon is a very dedicated officer, appointee at the BOST, and he's together with our brother Afeji. the CEO of Bost, they are performing very well. They are doing marvelously well at the establishment day, at the Bost day. Since they took over, the activities that has to do with acquisition, the storage of fuel to be supplied to the upstream depots, fantastic. It has never been any given time that there is a news going around that there's a shortage of fuel, whereby you see people rushing to buy fuel and store in their homes. No, they are always very active, and then they are very, very up and doing on their job. So this morning I want to pat them on the shoulder for the good work they are doing for Mother Ghana. My brother Solomon, my best regards to you this morning, and then in the appropriate time we'll talk over the phone. Yeah. So for now, this is the greetings I will have to. And then coming back to your question, I think the former CJ was just bitter. Okay, and she never thought there would be a day or there would be a time where the constitutional provision of Ghana will be activated to the extent at which she will be removed from office. Therefore, if you look at her behavior and attitude while she was in office, it's like this eagle which believe that there's nothing else in the world that can affect it. And then that reminds me of the popular proverbs that my father used to tell us when we were growing as young guys. My father used to tell us a proverbs that has to do or involves the Okodie, the eagle. My father said once a time, the Okodie is so proud and pride that it thinks that it is the superior of all the birds in the universe. And therefore it found its way in the way it even make noise or cries or a sound. And therefore my father said the Okodie, the eagle, sound like there's nothing in this world. Bibi ni wiase, bibi ni wiase, bibi ni wiase. Until one day there was an attempt to catch a monkey, and the monkey out of fear fell from the high tree and fell under the tree. When it arrived at the base of the tree, Okodie was also found to have hit the tree with the chest, and then also fell where monkey also fell. So monkey climbed the tree and went back to the children, the babies birds of Okodie, and told them that, have you seen what I kept telling you? Your mother kept deceiving you that Bibini Viase today. Have you seen that there's something in this world? Your mother is down there, is dead. So from today going, instead of you crying, Bibini Viase, from today change how you cry. Cry unto the Lord for assistance, cry unto the Lord for guidance, because there's something in this world. During the reign of former President Akufo-Addo, most of these institution heads and then the ministers, their utterances and behavior is one that tells us or suggests that there's nothing at all. Whether illegally they misconduct themselves whilst in office or not, they believe that there's nothing at all in this world. And I think that is what happened to the former Chief Justice, Justice Tokono. And I think going forward, we must learn that, look, the constitutional provisions of Ghana are the mother provisions that regulate everybody, even including the president. The system does not give an autonomous, superior authority to every leader or the president. So even the president, there is a limit at which the president can travel.
Okay.
If the president is found to have violated the constitution, there's a process that can be ignited against him even at the parliament, and that is called impeachment. So even if the president of the Republic of Ghana, the number one person of Ghana, it doesn't have absolute power, and therefore whatever he does at the presidency is governed and regulated by the constitutional provision. Then who are we to say whether I'm a chief justice, I am a speaker of parliament? Everybody's, wherever you find yourself and your position that you occupy, that position is regulated by law. If not, even the constitution is regulated by law. And it is important that we learn from this kind of attitude, and so that whatever we find ourselves, we activate and work according to the laid down procedures and rules governing the sector.
Okay.
Yes. So I think somewhere last year, Madam, the former Chief Justice, Madam Tokono, petition was ignited, okay, against her removal. Committees were formed according to the law, and then finally, I would not want to expatiate or repeat what happened, but then she was removed out of office.
Okay.
She felt not satisfied, and as the Constitution provides, every citizen, including the CJ, former CJ, you have the right to be heard in court, and you have the right to appeal whenever there has been a decision of court against you, and you think that the decision is not, you are not satisfied with it. You can activate the appeal right that the Constitution guarantees everybody, including the chief. So she did that. She was represented by lawyers all along until the case was dealt with. After the case, she decided that she will elevate her case further to the ECOWAS. ECOWAS, when I mean ECOWAS, the ECOWAS court. So she went to the court with her grievances and then petition. Since last year, we have been patiently waiting for the outcome of the ruling or what the court of ECOWAS will say. Thankfully, this week the news came that ECOWAS court have given their ruling, and then they have actually dismissed her petition. And then the items, the requirements that she sought, okay, or the reliefs, and put that in law, the relief that she sought to be granted by ECOWAS court. So invariably, we know that it will come to nothing. Okay, it will come to nothing, particularly when the constitutional provisions were followed. The laid down procedures, for the removal of the chief justice were followed, and then finally it came to light that indeed there is a substance and there is a truth in what the petitioners claims that they made against the former chief justice. They upheld it. So when the committee upheld the claims of the petitioners, I think the committee, the president of Ghana, did not hesitate at all for her removal, and she did that. So if she feels dissatisfied in some of the things that came up and it went further, today I think with the declaration and the decision of the ECOWAS court, I think it is clear, and then matters will be laid to rest now. I was thinking that along the line, she should have been more diplomatic and engaging behind the scene. Maybe if she wants to some kind of, when you are dismissed, you are not entitled to certain things. But when you resign, there's certain entitlement that you inure to you. So maybe for one or two reasons, she have engaged behind the scenes for some one or two things that she felt that maybe she may like to get home. But then she decided to rather put up a case. And then I think it's correct for all of us, because this ECOWAS court, Ghana, the president, and nobody in Ghana has the control. It is completely out of the jurisdiction of Ghana. So it is so good. It sounds so well for the government, the people of Ghana, that there is a different body that is not controlled, is not being handled by Ghana, also delve into the matter. It has given their verdict. And the verdict that came is that Ghana did no wrong, and therefore our president acted in accordance with the provisions of the law. And that's fine for all of us.
So should we term the ruling as a good news to the country?
It is. It is, because here is the case. Our friends in the other side of the political divide kept making unfounded claims, kept making statements on the media that because President Mahama is the leader of the NDC, a member of NDC, is supposed to go according to petitioners who may also not have or have something to do with the NDC. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
And then it was also believed that even the judges that sat on the case, a whole lot of issues that were raised, there was a conflict of, and then there was even sometimes a search during the committee that sat on her case for the hearing. In the process of going to the committee, she claimed that she was searched by the officers at the facility before she had her final seat for the discussion. All these things were the matters that she decided to put together. But we said no, that was not so. The process were fairly conducted, like it will be done to any other such high-profile personality. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Of this country. So they disagree. So okay, we say fine. To some of us, we were relieved that at least if the matter it should have even gone to the international court. Okay, International Court of Justice. For it is the same verdict that they will give, because the processes and then the procedure through which the matter was carried out was very fair, was in accordance of the laid down procedure. It is not the procedure that was enacted by the NDC government. It wasn't a procedure preferred by the President of the Republic. It was a procedure that was also preferred or provided by the Constitution. The Constitution does not only say what can lead to the removal of a chief justice. The Constitution provisions went further to lay down processes and procedures to follow when such petitions come out. And I was so happy that our president allowed the procedure to be followed to the latter. perfectly to the letter without any infringement, okay, on the rights of the former CJ.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she decided and thought otherwise. So thankfully, it is a relief and it is a win, not only for the government but for the people of Ghana.
Okay.
The citizens also have the right. That goes to say that whatever political power you have today, the citizens also have the power and responsibility to hold you to account. There's one person in our history today who have not accounted for her stewardship. But we hope that once, as we move on along the democracy, one day she will also be held to account to the people of Ghana.
And who is that?
That was the electoral commissioner.
Oh, why do you say
Electoral
so?
commissioner of Ghana, she also holds us a responsibility to account to us.
Is
My
it
dear.
based on the irregularities with the elections?
Election 2020, as we speak today, for certainty, without any speculation, I cannot say exactly what is the actual gazetted figure on which the former President Akufo-Addo was sworn into power.
So you doubt that?
There are so many variations, changes of the results, the final result declarations. And so far as we do not know up to now exactly what it is, she owes us as citizens an explanation.
But not to cut you, I think when that happened, you sent that to court, right?
Yes, the party sent the matter to court.
But the court said...
Do you know what happened? The court refused. The court at that time refused to allow her to account, to respond to our lead lawyer, counsel, who wanted to find out for her to explain to the people of Ghana. So when she was prevented from explaining, she was prevented from being accountable. That's what it suggests. You see, the job of the courts is not for themselves. The work of the judiciary is meant for the good of the people of Ghana. The people of Ghana taxes are what pays them, including the presidency and the former chief justice. So at any given time in point that a citizen of Ghana file a petition to a court against another state institution or the head of state institution in the performance of their work or job, it is up to the court to protect the interests of the state and the citizenry and not individuals or organizations.
Okay.
Because the rules of democracy requires accountability, transparency, and fairness.
Okay.
Therefore, if we give you job, and at the end of the day, the outcome of your performance has become a subject of questions, and then somebody sought clarification, it behoves on the occupant of that position to respect the people of Ghana and offer explanation.
Okay.
So during those petitions, and then the court did what they did because of their political interest, it still hangs on our neck as if, and then the neck of such institution and their heads, that they have not, they or did not account to the people. They did not render accountability. They did not explain to the people what accounts to the irregularities and then the inconsistent results.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So to the stand that explanation didn't come, as we speak today, that matter has not come to rest, because it still casts a doubt. There's no record that has been the outcome based on the explanation of the head of that institution, that the reason why there has been a change of the figures up to a certain point before the declaration is as a result of this. So far as we are dissatisfied with, and there's no explanation to that effect, they hold us that responsibility one day. That one day someone else or someone day she'll have to come and tell us what has led to that. And so former CJ at the point was called to account to her stewardship. Why the provisions laid down in the constitution, certain matters were dealt the manner she did it. Whether she followed the constitutional positions. You see, he who calls for equity must first come with what? A clean hand. People are being sentenced. People are being convicted by the court, day and day in. Okay, based on violations, based on improprieties, based on embezzlements, based on lack of procedural decisions. Okay, for not following processes of carrying out their activities. If I may draw your minds back, when President Akufo-Addo took over in the year 2017, by the year 2020, we have a number of banks and financial institutions which licenses were what?
That was
withdrawn. Are you getting it? Their licenses of operations were withdrawn. UT Bank, UT Bank is one. The banks, GN Bank, a whole lot of them. I may not have the list here too, but a whole lot of them. Go Coast Investment. Okay, that's the name of the, and then others, including Unibank, former Command Before Bank. Okay, so the reason came out. What was the reason why such individuals' operational licenses were withdrawn? And it came has to do with procedural and then financial irregularities or financial violations. So if individuals' licenses can be withheld, some of them were convicted just because they did not follow financial or Bank of Ghana rules in operations, in the performance of their duties. Okay, and then that happened to them, and that decisions were taken by courts. Do you understand?
Yeah.
To what extent it is that if the head of judiciary is also found to have violated the constitutional provision, should not be held to account, or must not be held to pay for her stewardship. So there's rule and there are procedures for everybody, particularly government workers or government appointees, or what do you call it? Article 1 office holders, like Article 71 office holders. Once you occupy a very high rank position, that's not all. It is not absolute. You don't have powers on your own. Absolute. The powers that you wield are powers that has been guaranteed you by the Constitution. The Constitution is the spirit, the mind, and the visions and aspirations of the people that you govern. So the word of the provisions of the constitutions are the decisions, are the agreements, okay, that the constitution offers the citizens, okay, in line with the people we select to lead us.
Okay.
So you will not be given a V8 for nothing. You will not be given a free 3-bedroom or 8-bedroom accommodation for nothing, because we expect you to perform according to the wishes that we've put into the constitution. So that's why a violation of the constitutional provision is so grievous. The punishment of certain things, the constitution we have made it that it should be what? Grievous, it should be very severe to deter other people who come into public office.
Okay, so
that's how it is.
Are there still legal avenues for the CJ, whether being locally or internationally?
Yes. Well, so far as I know, I think there's the case is still not finally until there's a final review.
Okay.
Yeah, the Supreme Court. You can go on appeal on a provision, and that's what you call constitutional review. When the Constitution or the Supreme Court give verdict, and you are not satisfied, the appeal, you go back to the same Supreme Court on the provision we call a review of their own decision. And then when that is done, that's the final end of it.
Okay.
That's that.
So it means she has a chance.
I still has, if she still feels that per the explanations that these institutions, the course she has sought so far, for assistance so far is still not satisfied, and she feels that she can, well, the law allows her to do so on so far as she wish.
But do you see her backing off, or you see her to be this kind of woman who is so eager to get whatever she wants?
It is because of bitterness. It's because of bitterness and because of political interest. Okay, and that's why. Other than that, she herself knows. You see, my dear, human beings as we are, before law, God gave us the natural law that were created with us as individuals, as humans. And therefore, when you do something, then it is not right. Within your own conscience, you know what is right from wrong. When I was studying in the university, and I tried to go to do small reading about the concept of justice. The concept of justice was developed long before the 17th century. And I came across some writings of Plato. Some call him Socrates. And in some of the books, she said, man knows what is right, and man knows what is wrong. And therefore, it does not take a provisional law or a law in a certain book, classified book, to tell human, in this case, when I say a man, it means human being, what is wrong and what is right. And therefore, long before law was promulgated, long before law was formulated, man knows that rape in itself is an offense.
Okay.
So before a law was promulgated on rape, let nobody deceive you that human beings, we don't know that rape itself is an offense.
Okay.
So before justice or before law was formulated, we have a natural law that tells us that certain actions already were unlawful.
Okay.
So if I were to be her, she knows what has gone on. If she's right, she knows. If she's wrong, she knows within herself. But sometimes after the promulgation of law in the classified books to be followed in the law court, people, even when they do what is wrong, they want to ride on the back of technicalities to, as it were, reverse or to explain themselves, as it were, to justify their wrongdoing, even when they know they have done what is wrong.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So within the mind, he knows it's wrong, But they wanted to follow certain provisions, inconsistency, to justify her actions so as to make it even right. Even when within herself, she knows that indeed
It's
what the actions I've taken has violated the provisions of the. So that's left for her.
Okay.
But if I were to be her, I will allow Christian values speak through my conscience, and that's the natural law. That indeed, what has been preferred or what has been brought against me were right, and out of humility and then good morals, back off. And that's not the end of the journey. I mean, there's more opportunities ahead. So that at least anybody that will be appointed to such positions will be guided. That look, despite that I am the Chief Justice, my actions and inactions are being regulated by the constitutional provisions. And when that is done, the citizens of this country, the outcomes of the judiciary will be a benefit to all of us as a country, and Ghana will be the beneficiary.
Okay. Does she stand the chance of future appointment, or that is the end of the road for her?
Maybe politically, if her political party, now that we know where he belongs, maybe in future when her political party comes to power, a dismissal from maybe that same position, maybe not, but maybe there are so many political positions that maybe she can, you understand? Yes, can be appointed to. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's how it is. Yes.
But wouldn't it erode trust? So this is a CJ that a position was being entrusted into her hands, and along the line, the president was petitioned because they felt like she was not doing the right thing due to misconduct and a whole lot of stuff. And now she has been sacked. And per my research, she's the first in the Fourth Republic as a CJ being sacked. But in the history of Ghana, she's the second person. Then in the 90s, we had one person, Mr. Kobina Akosa, being sacked by a first president of the country, and then she being the second person. So, just like what you are saying, imagine her party comes back to power, and then she's being given a position. How well are we going to, gain some sort of trust in her, and then the office she's handling? Because there's already a perception that, in a way, she's incompetent or kind of biased, just like what was being stated in the petition that was presented to the president.
Yeah, my lady, you are right. You are right. But then, what it means that the certain position, the position that will not be closer to maybe to the judiciary. Maybe if she's given us an ambassadorial position, that would be fair. That will not be subjected to vetting.
Okay.
Or maybe a speaker of parliament. That this very one will be brought against her. Are you getting it? But then the way our systems in this country runs, with the majority vetted you or approves you, then it means you are good to go. So in future, because looking at her age, she has not reached the retirement age at all.
Yeah.
And therefore, in future dealings, maybe if by 20 years or even 30 years, because NDC is going to stay in power for long because of the good work the party is doing.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Because the good work the party is doing for the good of people of Ghana, people are going to renew NDC mandate over and over. And so, if by the time, in the future, maybe after 40, 50 years, they so come back to power and she's still fit for any position other than the Chief Justice, fine, so be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for the sake of our listeners, I would like to go through something very briefly. So, Justice Gertrude Araba Saki Tokonu was removed as Chief Justice on September 1st, 2025 by President John Dramani Mahama. So here's what happened. I want to break it down so that we'll understand. The process, Article 146, constitutional removal. So it says that President Mahama received petitions seeking her removal under Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. 3 petitions were filed, the main one by a Ghanaian citizens, Daniel Ofori. After consulting the Council of State and finding a prima facie case, she was suspended in April 2025. A 5-member Article 146 committee was set up, chaired by Supreme Court Justice Gabriel Scott, with former Auditor General Daniel Domelevo and others. The committee sat for 4 months, reviewed 10,000, this is huge, 10,000 pages of evidence, had 13 witnesses from the petitioner and 12 from the CJ herself. So the grounds, so we are looking at the grounds here, stated misbehavior under Article 146 Clause 1. The committee found grounds of stated misbehavior had been established and recommended removal. So the President President John Dramani Mahama was constitutionally bound to act on that recommendation. So you see, there were instances where people felt like it was the president stood by his own authority to get her suspended. But the Constitution, Article 146 Clause 1, is stating that the president was constitutionally bound to act on that recommendation. So this is not as if it is his own personal will to do so.
Exactly.
So specific allegations the committee considered included financial misconduct. So misappropriation of 261,890 plus 30,000 per diem for private foreign travel for herself, her husband, plus her daughter, and also 75,580 for Ethiopian airline ticket for personal vacation. And they say and then $40,000 received but not accounted for.
That's right.
And then the cable reported it as a falsification of judicial records and misuse of public funds. So internationally, bypassing established nomination and appointment protocols to appoint Supreme Court judge. This is what has been stated as the misconduct she engaged in, or she did. Nominating 5 Supreme Court judges allegedly based on partisan consideration to influence the judiciary. So aftermath, she became the first Chief Justice in Ghana's Fourth Republic to be investigated and removed from office. However, Tokonu denied the allegation, calling them unfounded and politically motivated, since she filed case challenging the removal of the process at the ECOWAS court, and also demanding a 10 million. That is what she was demanding
as a compensation.
As a compensation from the state. Now, she stated that this whole process is politically motivated. How true is this?
Yeah, if it is politically motivated, how come that when she escalated it to the ECOWAS, which is not the politically motivated or a court of Ghana, still went ahead and then vindicate the position of the committee finders? Are you getting it? What is it that evidence that she adduced before ECOWAS court? And then when ECOWAS court look at the evidence also adduced by the committee. So ECOWAS court will not just sit on because you've brought a case and then you have made your case fine, polish it, give it a pons, dress it, lips shine, everything. And you think once the ECOWAS court sees the beauty of your petition, it will go ahead and then act just based on your petition. It also have to take the other side, the findings and petition, and once they put the two together, they were able to decipher. I get it. They analyze it to see, oh, indeed, if this is all has been the issue that has gone on, and that is what the committee findings suggest or seeks to come out with. Who is then the ECOWAS court? Because the ECOWAS court is a court of law. It's a court of provisions. It also has its charter. Okay, provisions. And they also work in accordance with the word rules. So they will not act because maybe the head of ECOWAS court is a woman.
Okay.
No, they will also look at the evidence that you brought before them. And then, so if that happens, and you'll be in a country.
Okay.
So the evidence as it is available is what has ended up in the verdict that we have all heard.
Okay, so does the ruling affect perception of judicial independence and accountability for top judicial officers in the country?
Yes. You see, judicial independence does not mean judicial absolutism. Judicial independence does not mean judicial violation of constitutional provisions. The independence of the judiciary rather is in accordance with the provisions of the constitution.
Okay.
So you are independent, but your independence, as far as does not violate what has been laid down in the constitution, or has been established in the constitution to be followed in the performance of the judicial functions, then there is a problem.
Okay.
So far as you don't follow it, the constitutional provisions as provided in carrying out your judicial work, you know that you are doing something illegal. You understand?
Yeah.
The establishment of the judiciary service is a constitution, in the constitution. How the judiciary should work is in the constitution. The allowances and monies and whatever to pay is a one that has been made provided by the constitution. So you cannot say because the independence of the constitution, then tomorrow you say I'm traveling with my husband, helping money. The money bring the money. If the constitution says you give you 40%, you say give me 100% interest. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That will amount to what you call autocracy and not constitution or not democracy. Under the democracy, there's what we call checks and balances.
Right.
One institution check over the other, the other institution check over the other. And the custodians, the owners of the constitution, the owners of the law are the generality of the citizens.
Okay.
We at any given time will hold your feet against the fire. That's where we make sure whatever you are being carried out, we will look at it in accordance with the provisions.
Okay.
Whatever you are doing in your outfit is in what we have asked the constitution to be provided you, or what we have put inside the constitution for you to follow. So once you've been doing or you are doing your activities, whether you're a president, a chief justice, a speaker of parliament, these are the 3 top most heads of the organs, organs of government.
Okay.
And then because you said me, I'm a head of one of the organs, I am a chief justice. What the constitution have provided, because the constitution says it should be independent, I should be independent. Then because I'm a judiciary, I can call, hey, tomorrow this guy, jail him. This guy, the ruling that they have given in his favor, go and overturn it and make sure all his damages or compensation pay him are withdrawn. Then we are not practicing democracy. What should be determined as wrong is even provided by constitution.
Okay.
Therefore, if I have a case with you and I petition the judiciary must not act, in my favor because maybe I belong or I am a cousin to one of the judges. The judiciary must be seen to be doing justice, even if I am even a son of the president.
Okay.
So they will look at the law vis-a-vis what allegation I've put before the court against you. Therefore, the justice system requires that even if the president's son is wrong, the law must carry it or take its course.
Okay. So does this decision weakens or strengthen checks and balances between executive, legislative, and the judiciary?
It is a strength. It is a strength because the law is not in the hands of any singular individual. The law is in the hands of the people, as according to the constitution. And so it strengthens the system because whoever you are, you know that one day, whether you are a sitting serving chief officer or a retired officer, your actions and inactions whilst in service can be held, or you can be called to come and account.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when that happens, it makes the state stronger. Nobody is saying because of equality before the law.
Right.
Under the constitution, under the democracy, what the tenets of the constitution demands is that everybody, every citizen is equal before the law. What you should be treated, how you should be treated, should be the same person. If the chief justice also violates, should be treated.
Okay.
But sometimes we see that some of our organizations or our leaders tries to bend the rules in favor of some of their members based on interest.
Yeah, but is it supposed to be so?
No, it's supposed to be equality before the law. The law that is used against Chief Justice today should be the same law that should be used against my mother in Trapiase number 2.
Okay.
In the village there. The same law. That's why a lot of people are agitating these days that it appears that democracy that we opted for ourselves is not helping us. It's not helping us because they've thought that sometimes in the judiciary hesitate to sentence poor people into prison.
Okay.
But when it comes to the affluents, the haves, the people who have money, they are able to use certain laws, processes, and even pay high-ranked lawyers to take certain actions that invariably will go into their favor.
Okay.
Recently, there was a matter that I followed on the social media. I understand somebody went to the bush and killed a crantier, a bushmeat.
Okay.
A crantier grass cutter.
Oh, okay.
And then he was sentenced to some time to imprisonment. And then somebody came out and said, look, to what extent? There's a provision today that Chairman to me is depending on, and that's a plea bargaining.
Yeah.
Why is the plea bargaining not being afforded that Akantier killer? So that, okay, they will say that the Akantier for you, they value the Akantier for you to pay. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that the person who went to the bush against the forestry law, not to go and kill certain wild animals, he violated it to go and kill animals. Why is that when it happens? That poor man who was hungry and just went and catch somebody plantain, is also not given that plea bargaining to pay for the plantain, but he's sentenced. So that equality before the law, people are beginning to question it.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. But then as it has happened in the case of the former chief justice, that should tell us, look, there will be a time that, look, irrespective of the position that you think you are superior and powerful, you must not be powerful, at least after all. After all, you must not be that powerful, because once you violate the constitution, your power is limited.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
The law, it becomes superior. The superior, we are under the constitutional system, under the constitutional provision or constitutional rule, the superiority lies in the law, in the constitution, and not any singular individual that occupies the seat. So the occupants of the various institutions are not the power in themselves. They derive their power from the constitution. Therefore, the power is by the constitution and not by single individual. So yes, until we gradually all of us begin to fashion that equality before the law, equality before the law, no single individual, being a chief justice or a president, must be allowed to violate the law because he's the president, because he's the speaker, because the chief justice. No. The law that applies to somebody, we apply to somebody in the Galamsey pit. When they are arrested, we should apply the same law in the Speaker of Parliament when he violates the Constitution. Until we do that, there will be a time our democracy will suffer serious consequence. Just that it has happened in some of the countries, our neighboring countries like Burkina Faso, the Mali, the Niger.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
We want to change the narrative so that the people who have the belief in the constitution, they have the belief in democracy, that democracy is the way to go. And because then the people who buy into the democracy, when they see that the same law that holds the poor man who went to kill that country is the same law that when a chief justice violate it, he can be held accountable.
Okay.
Then the democracy that we are preferring can travel far and go ahead.
Now, my question is, how do we change this narrative? Because as you said, there are instances where I saw a video where a citizen, an ordinary citizen, it's bad to dispose refuse anywhere, and I think that has become the norm of late, where somebody will just drink water, leave it anywhere, and then this young man was being apprehended by the court, and then he was being jailed, I think, for 1 year 6 months, and there was another case where a man went to steal a hen. And he was also being jailed like 2 years. But then there are instances where political officials take what does not belong to them. So the state money or money that is being meant for developmental projects are being taken by the state. And then the law tend to show them, and they don't drift away from shielding the same people. Now you are talking about equality before the law. How are we going to change this narrative and then make these people understand that regardless of the position you hold in office, that is what the law is stating. So even if you are being caught, if someone is in Cherepone and the person is being caught stealing a goat, and then a political official is also being caught stealing a goat, what should have been done to the goat stealer in Cherepone should be the same thing that should happen to the government official. So why are we seeing opposite of what we are supposed to see?
Madeleine, you are right. Like I said, the pre-bargaining law that was passed should cut across.
Okay.
And so at any given time, in the circumstances that you have just suggested or you have just highlighted, everyone, if Chairman Untumi can be given or pre-bargain request can be accepted by court, then everybody, including that can hear the goat stealer, and put for the one of better well, the goat stealer, the goat stealer or the goat thief, should also be given the opportunity. Whenever she's found to have stolen somebody's goat or plantain, to also plea bargain to pay. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
And just we have the high profile cases like Chairman Untumi have requested to his lawyers.
Yeah.
So we should also we allow the grassroots, the poor, the ordinary common person also to do the same. If we don't do that, then the equality before the law principle, bit of the constitutional rule or democracy becomes a defect.
Okay.
It becomes a serious defect. So like you are saying, yes, if we don't go by this kind of principle where fairness across board, from the grassroots, from the down trawler to the big man, but then democracy appears to be unfair, to be honest with you. Those who have even in advanced countries, European countries, the Americans, who are they tout themselves the beacons of democracies themselves, these kind of inequalities exist. The law, if though it suggests and requests for equality, no, the equality is not practically equal to all manner of persons, and that's the danger of democracy going ahead, going forward.
So that is huge. If we will not put it into practice, then why is it being stated in the law?
That is the expectation. Every person, the ideal situation is there, But what is the reality is also one thing.
Okay.
Ideally, we prefer a situation or a system where every citizen is equal before the law. But as whether indeed at any given time, material time in our life, every citizen is treated equally is another thing for discussion. And next time round, I will request that you come or invite me here one-on-one for us to discuss issues regards to law.
All right.
Or the concept of law. Or the concept of justice.
Right.
For me to deliberate and then give you my opinion when it comes to justice.
Okay.
So you see, this all boils down to what we call justice. Is justice fair? Is there what we call justice to all? What is the meaning of justice itself? Does it mean justice is discriminatory and therefore is circumstantially based on circumstances and one position, social position, economic situation, financial situations? Is it based on this consideration that one gets justice? Or justice in itself is supposed to be general? Justice in itself is supposed to be for everybody, irrespective of your class and social background.
I think
we'll find time come and delve into what justice itself. So you see, we'll be able to marry inequality or equalities before the law and justice. Okay. So you see the marriage between justice and then equality before the law. And so far as and per my experiences, I don't blame people who say if I have matter with you, I won't go to court. He will go the local traditional way.
And that one, sincerely speaking, works faster.
Yes, and I think people also have their own experience in law and reasons. There are people today, when somebody offends them, they will not go to court. It's because of their experiences they have in the court. My dear, I've had some experience in a court in Tema. It was there then. I went back to read about what I've already read about justice in university. You see, the lawyers themselves, the law has given them so wide powers in coming into conclusion as to whether they are sentencing you or they are not sentencing you. And so that's another room through which people find avenue to engage in corrupt practices, either to exonerate you or to seek for justice. And therefore, eventually the judge, I met him somewhere, he tries to apologize because it was so bad. My car, somebody ran into my car from behind. The person is running away. I chased him, crossed him, and then he came out of the car and started beating me. Beating me from the car, from outside. I came to the police station and reported the police because of the person relationship. In the court, with the court, when the matter with the court, will you believe that me, as an educated person as I am, I heard a judge saying, you see, that I could have gone to police to report without chasing or pursuing the car that hit my back and was running away. How many times have you seen people whose car has been snatched and the police were able to find it? How many times?
0 or 12.
How can I have a bird in my hand and leave the bird to fly for me to go and chase the bird in the bush looking for it? How sensible it does it make? So far as, and the law even provide citizen arrest. All these things the judge look